Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills and thick woods, there lived a sweet little girl known as Red Riding Hood. Her real name was Rosalind, but everyone in the village called her Red Riding Hood because of the vibrant crimson cloak her dear grandmother had made for her. One sunny morning, Red Riding Hood's mother called her into the kitchen. "Rosalind, dear, your grandmother isn't feeling well. Would you be a sweetheart and take her this basket of goodies? It has some freshly baked cookies, a jar of honey, and a bunch of wildflowers. They're sure to brighten her day." With a cheerful nod, Red Riding Hood grabbed the basket and skipped along the winding path through the woods to her grandmother's cottage. The sun filtered through the leaves, creating a dappled pattern on the forest floor, and the birds sang a cheerful tune overhead. As Red Riding Hood strolled along, she hummed a little tune, enjoying the rustling of the leaves and the scent of the pine trees. Little did she know that someone was watching her from behind the trees, a sly wolf with keen eyes and a mischievous grin. "Good day, Red Riding Hood," the wolf said, stepping out from the shadows. "Why, hello there. Aren't you a handsome fellow?" Red Riding Hood replied, not sensing any danger. The wolf, though cunning, decided to play it cool. "Thank you, my dear. Where are you off to with that lovely basket?" "I'm on my way to grandmother's house. She's not feeling well, and I thought these goodies might cheer her up," Red Riding Hood explained. "Ah, how sweet of you. Well, I wouldn't want to keep you. Have a delightful visit," the wolf said with a sly wink, pretending to head in the opposite direction. Unaware of the wolf's true intentions, Red Riding Hood continued on her way, reaching her grandmother's cottage before long. She knocked on the door and heard a weak voice inviting her in. Grandmother, tucked snugly in her bed, welcomed Red Riding Hood with a warm smile. The little girl shared the goodies and chatted with her grandmother, blissfully unaware of the lurking danger. Meanwhile, the cunning wolf had taken a shortcut to grandmother's house. He arrived and, finding the door ajar, sneaked inside, hoping to catch both grandmother and Red Riding Hood by surprise. But just as the wolf approached the bed, Red Riding Hood sensed something amiss. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have!" she exclaimed. "All the better to see you with, my dear," the wolf replied, attempting to disguise his growling voice as a feeble imitation of grandmother's. "But, grandmother, what big ears you have," Red Riding Hood continued. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf replied again, trying to maintain his charade. Then Red Riding Hood, being a clever little girl, pointed to the wolf's sharp teeth. "But, grandmother, what big teeth you have!" The wolf couldn't contain himself any longer and leaped out of bed with a menacing growl. But before he could reach Red Riding Hood, a brave woodsman who had heard the commotion burst into the room. With a swift swing of his axe, he scared the wolf away, saving Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. From that day forward, Red Riding Hood learned to be cautious in the woods, and the villagers were grateful to the brave woodsman who protected them from the cunning wolf. And so, the story of Red Riding Hood became a cautionary tale, reminding everyone to be wary of strangers, even those with big eyes, big ears, and big teeth.